Coming at you live from America's Podcast Studios, Eric, the Turf Teacher Jones, with his future beautiful bride, the Turfette. What's going on, baby?
Just rocking and a-rolling, darling.
That's right. That's right. Guys, welcome. We got what? Well, we got like 10 days to Christmas, 9 days. Days the 16th. Unreal. Unreal. So anyways, guys, welcome to the show. Be a Boss, Data Boss here live on Boots on Ground Radio. You can stream live from Facebook on my personal page because you know why? We don't have enough followers on Boots on Ground Radio Facebook page. So go and like it and go and subscribe to it and find us on there. Because that's where we want you guys. And so we are live. We're live here on Facebook and on Boots on Ground Radio. And so you can stream it at bootsongroundradio.com. Download the app for your phone. All the platforms out there. And as soon as the show's over, we automatically upload it to the podcast. And it should be available on all the platforms very, very shortly. So anyway, guys, welcome to the show. Baby, what are you doing? Look at that. And you got your son calling.
I know. My son's calling. He knows we're live on air. So I'm going to have to get my other son to call my other son and tell him, find out what's going on. But we're live.
Yes.
We're live.
Yes. And look at the beautiful background that you've done for us today, babe. You know, the trees decorated. You got the fireplace going up there in the background.
You know, I love a good Christmas decor.
Yes.
You know, Christmas for me is a time of joy.
It is.
Happiness. There is
100%.
a certain amount of peace that comes with Christmas, and I love this time of the year.
Oh, yes.
It's my most favorite holiday ever is Christmas.
Well, from Thanksgiving all the way to January, New Year's Day is awesome. Mm-hmm. I love it. Even Halloween. Like, I love, I'm not a big sport. I mean, Halloween, yes, and we do a lot of Halloween decorations, but for clients, it's that time of year. And Halloween kicks it off into, the Thanksgiving season and the Christmas season. So it's all about that. So anyway, babe, what are we going to talk about tonight? We have had one major busy week. We've got a busy upcoming week. And so, there's not enough time in the day. Even all the way up to Christmas Day is just going to be super, super busy for us.
It is. And again, the Christmas season is my most favorite time of the year, but it's also our most busiest time of the year.
100%.
Between work and kids and festivities and dinners and, radio, everything we're doing, and church.
Still putting up Christmas lights for
customers.
I
mean, and how far are you guys done?
There's probably 3 or 4 more roof lines that we could actually do if just reaching out to that client, or it's a lot of hit and miss calls. Because today was the last day of class. We had final exams today in plant materials class, so I'm 100% done with the college until January 2nd. But the guys put up lights, Saturday. And we had 2 or 3 scheduled that we could have done today, but it was a little bit wet, and I didn't want the guys getting up on the roof. So,
yeah.
Again, 3 or 4. And then there's always some of the loose ends to tie up, timers, getting unset, breakers being thrown or whatever because of a timer. Mama throws on a hair dryer or whatever. It shouldn't happen with LEDs, but a lot of people, man, they are burning some power in these houses. So, and that throws the timer off. And so, we'll go back and reset a few of those here and there.
So callbacks are expected.
Yeah. And, we charge for that, especially, how we price it. If they own the decor, we definitely charge for it. But if we're leasing it, we kind of cover that within the lease price because it's, a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, such is life, such is business, right?
That's right.
Such is Christmas season.
That's right. And, we were talking today, though, we're already prepping and looking forward to next Christmas.
Oh, I am.
So
I am. That's part of exciting things that are happening, in the next 6-7 months. I mean, we're getting married in June of 2025.
Yes.
And so there's planning around that, but there's also planning around a change of address, or at least for me. You're not changing your address, but I am.
True.
And my boys and I, we're super excited. Your girls are excited. Everybody is excited about 2025 and what's coming next year, and already planning what Christmas is going to look like next year. Because next year, Eric and I are going to have 5 adult children next year. All 5 of our kids will be adult ages.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. And and it's the year of 2025. So we'll have 5 adult children. Yeah. We'll have 5 dogs. 5 is our number.
That's right, because we haven't even told them what.
Last week we showed the ultrasound and told everybody that we had a surprise, and my mom thought and my aunt thought we were going to say we were pregnant.
My mom did too. She's like, Eric, what?
No, we are not pregnant. We are not having a baby. My dog Maggie she's 2 years old. She's a Yorkshire Terrier. And I also have a 3-year-old male Yorkshire Terrier. Maggie, she is your traditional Yorkshire. She looks traditional with the coloring and everything, body size. She's not a teacup. She's a regular size Yorkie. And then Milo is what they call a silky. He's got curly hair. He's silver and really, really light tan. He's
handsome fella.
He's very pretty. He's a very pretty dog.
Handsome.
I know. I've said that to you sometimes, and you're like, babe, it's not pretty. It's handsome.
No, you'll be like, you look cute today. And I'm like, sweetie, don't ever say that again.
And why is that? Why do you not like being called cute?
Yeah. I mean, he's the same way, right?
Right. Well, I mean, does it like take away your manhood to call you cute? Oh, my son's back in the back saying yes, it does. Okay, so I'm learning something. So don't call a man cute.
Well, we're dating. We're engaged to be married. So I want to be handsome in your eyes. When you say cute, I'm thinking, oh, it's the little puppy that we just had. Or, oh, it's somebody just had a little cute baby.
Yeah, yeah. Well, back to the puppy story. Now that I know not to call you grown adult men cute, to call you handsome, which you are handsome.
Well, thank you.
But back to Maggie. So I've got 2 Yorkshire Terriers. I have a 3-year-old male, and then I have a 2-year-old female, with the purpose of breeding them. But I was not ready. We were not ready to do that. I've done everything over the past 2 years that she went into that stage where she was able to breed to prevent that. Until we went to Kentucky in October. Mm-hmm. I left. I didn't board them. I had my sister to dog sit for me. So she only lives literally 2 blocks from my house. And she's like, is it okay to leave them out? And she said, well, by the way, I think Maggie's in heat. And I said, well, it's fine. Milo don't know what he's doing because
we've watched him multiple times.
Up to this point, he couldn't figure it out. But you know what? Mama left the house. There was nobody in the house and nobody to prevent them. And apparently Milo figured it out while we were gone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 2 weeks ago we started noticing symptoms with Maggie that, wait a minute, her body is changing. And you were like, babe, I think your dog's pregnant. I said, you really think? He's like, yeah, I think your dog is pregnant. This was on Friday, a week ago Friday. So I called the vet. We talked about Thursday night. Friday morning, I called the vet, got an appointment Monday, took her to the vet on Monday, and she's like, oh, congratulations, you're having a puppy. I said, a puppy? She said, yeah, there's only one. We did an x-ray. She was far enough along they could do an x-ray, and there's the little puppy. And that was the ultrasound we showed you guys last week, which had my mom sitting on the edge of the seat thinking we were pregnant.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, but no, it wasn't us. And I asked my vet, I was like, well, when can I expect this puppy to be coming? Because I got to get my house prepped. And she said, and by the way, this was a surprise. This was not planned. And she said, oh, this puppy will be here within a week. She said, if not less than a week. And I was like, are you serious? She said, yeah, I'm dead serious. So that was on Monday. Thursday night.
It was Friday.
Well, the puppy was born. You're right. The puppy was born Saturday morning. So Friday night, I had plans to go get my nails done, but we ran late at work, and then I was like, I don't want to be out this late, so I'm going to go home. It was a good thing I did, because when I got home, Maggie went into labor. Like, she started showing signs of labor, and so I called you, and I was like, I can't go anywhere tonight. I've got to be home. So I stayed home all Friday night through and stayed up all night long. I mean, I was checking on the dog every hour. I begged you to come stay with me so that I wouldn't be by myself. So you and the boys, we were all like on dog watch all night Friday night. And Saturday morning, the puppy was delivered at 9:30 on Saturday morning, and it's a perfect little puppy.
It is.
It is, and it's a
Cute
female.
Mm-hmm.
So we picked out 2 names. We picked out if it was a boy, he was going to be Major, because your dog, Sergeant, is a big German Shepherd. So we've got Sergeant. And it was funny to us to have a little Yorkie and name him Major if it was a boy. So we'd have Sergeant, Big Sergeant, and then Little Major. But Major's bigger than Sergeant in the military. So we just thought that was funny. So it was going to be Major if it was a boy, but it ended up being a girl. And we're naming her Molly. Jared picked that name out. He said, I've never got to name a dog. Can I name this one? I was like, yeah. So he picked out the name Molly. So we've got Milo, the male, Maggie, the female, and now we've got another little girl, and her name is Molly. So we'll have 5 dogs now.
Yeah.
5 dogs.
Yeah.
5 kids, 5 dogs in the year of 2025.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But life is good.
5 jobs.
Well, let's count it. You've got turf teacher.
Yeah.
You've got Forsyth Tech. You're the chair at Forsyth Tech for your trades division. And then you've got elite landscaping. And then my job.
And that's, and
radio. And radio. That's 5. We've got 5 different streams of work coming in. So look at that. 5 is our number.
It is.
It's our number. 5 to thrive. Thrive for 5. However you want to say that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been exciting. And I love looking at our live stream and seeing the Christmas trees behind us. On one tree we've got our elite landscaping cap, which is the Richardsons, which tends to be the most popular hat right now. Yeah, the guys like that one. And then over here we got Boots on Ground. And then behind us we've got some people that we've worked with that, they gave us hats, so they were displayed behind us. But babe, you did a good job, putting everything together.
Yeah, the garland out front. Yeah.
We've made this very Christmassy. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We got our Hallmark Channel mugs. You're drinking coffee. I've got Mr. Pibb. We were in here working and I got hot and I was like, you were like, you're not drinking coffee? No. I got Pibb.
All the way to your house Friday to help with the dog. I had to stop and get gas, and I walked into the Four Brothers, and lo and behold, there it was. At the very bottom of the refrigerated walk-in cooler was that bottle of Mr. Pibb. Just like Jared said a while ago, he's like, I've never seen a bottle of Mr. Pibb. And, to find them was just an awesome thing. And Sheetz had them last night. We stopped at Sheetz. So we are some Pibb Extra.
For years, back in the early 2000s, I stopped drinking soft drinks. And I might have one once in a blue moon. I mean, my boys will tell you, it's always been very rare for me to ever drink a soft drink. I've always had water. I drink water at home, or I drink water with Crystal Light, sugar-free Crystal Light packets in it. When we go out to eat, that's the only time I drink sweet tea because I don't like sodas. So I'll order a sweet tea. But since you and I have met, this man has got me hooked on Pibb Extra.
Pibb Extra and Death Wish coffee.
Yes, that's the 2 things. And then, yes, that's the 2 things you've got me hooked on is Death Wish coffee. It's highly caffeinated.
Yes, that's why we drink it. Like I run on caffeine and love.
We went to the grocery store. We went out to eat, and then afterwards we were craving something sweet. So we went to the grocery store, and the lady at the cash register, the cashier, she was like,
"This is my kind of party."
Yeah, and I laughed. I said, "This is what old people do. We get high on sugar and caffeine."
Yeah, we had 4 12-pack. We bought every single 12-pack of Pibb Extra, and we bought how many Christmas cake boxes?
Well, it was two for $6. $2 for $6, and then you bought your cherry cordial pack of cookies. So we ended up with 3 boxes of cookies, and then ice cream.
Yep.
I got sorbet, and you because
Haagen-Dazs.
Derry and I, we don't really get along, and you got your Haagen-Dazs,
And then we saw Mr. Brent Jones, my brother, walking up, and I turned and I was like, "Man, I know this guy." And today's his birthday. He turned 50 today, so happy birthday, Brent.
Yeah, I commented on his Facebook page today, and I was like, I heard that AARP called you today. But yeah,
we better answer a bunch of those comments that are coming up.
I see my Aunt Wanda is watching, so keep in tune, guys, because when we get ready for y'all to win the gift card, we got a $50 gift card to Tractor Supply. So keep watching. Stay tuned. If you're listening to us on the radio or if you're watching on Facebook Live, just stay tuned because we'll get to that point. because I know my aunt wanted at one point, can family call in? I was like, yeah, absolutely. I see my sister's watching. I see a few people are watching. So Joe Dunbar says, just don't have the Christmas vibe this season. He said December 26th will be on the road to Orlando for the girls' high school basketball tournament.
Well, and that's okay. But Joe, the reason, Joe, is because you didn't find us in Kentucky. If you would have found us there at Expo, you would have got into that Christmas spirit right away. So,
and then let's see here, Scott Horzuski. You guys are amazing.
Thanks, Scott. And you and your wife are too. And it was so good seeing you at Expo.
Next year in 2025, we're going to add a new segment to our podcast, and we want to interview couples. Yep. Not every week, but we're going to add a segment. There's some other segments that we want to add into our show into next year. So stay tuned, because we want to make this a fun podcast. It's live. Eventually, once we're off the air, we upload everything to all the platforms where you find your podcast and to YouTube. So just keep posted, keep a watch, because we're going to be doing some fun things next year.
And, and maybe we need to ask this to our viewers. I know we're very busy. We're super busy, but should we be doing this more than once a week?
I don't know. Maybe we should do a poll.
That's true.
Let's see. So here, I can create a poll. All right. So how should we pose the question?
Should we go live more than once a week?
Should we go live more than once a week?
Your sister said we need Santa hats, and we said that, Trish.
We did.
But with the headphones, which we're looking at new headphones. We got the new Rodecaster Pro 2 set up today, and got all the music and everything set up on it. So we've worked diligently since about 3:00. Well, you didn't, because you went and got your nails done.
I did go get my nails done today. The girl that does my nails, she's amazing. Her name is Tony. She works at Bell Bar Nail Salon in Winston, right across the walkway from where I work. And my last set of nails, I've grown my nails out long enough. I don't have to have tips. These are my nails. I just get S&S powder. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it's just a powder dip. You just dip your finger in, and it creates a coating over your nails. So the last set of nails, I tend to stay nude on the nails. I like natural colors. But anyway, they lasted for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, she saves me a lot of money. But today she was surprised when I said I wanted to go with colors, because that kind of surprised her, because I tend to go with more natural. But I did Christmas colors. I don't know if you could see them. Anytime you talk about girl nails and stuff, you can get me rolling.
This is boots on ground.
But there's wives listening too that can relate to this. So anyway, I got Christmas nails done with gold. They're very pretty. I love it. So anyway, just part of the Christmas season. I have
bougie.
So I created the poll. So I can't see if the poll got posted or not. Jared, can you look on Eric's page and see if that poll was posted? Because I hit created and saved the poll. So Jared's going to verify that the poll is there. So we asked the question, should we go live more than once a week? And then the options are yes or no.
Well, yes, more than once a week. Scott said that, yes. We got to get Scott and his wife live. Okay. They could zoom in and, do it. I'm sure Scott's got a Rodecaster, because, we did some stuff, previously together. So we could all jump on one night. We could have a Zoom Hallmark night.
Well, the poll was created. My son says he doesn't see it, so we'll just have to.
Yeah, it is. There it is. Let's see. Should we go live? Create. Maybe you need to create it then.
Well, I did. I hit save, and then I hit create poll, so I don't know if it's there or not. So, if it doesn't go live right now, we'll post it afterwards and make sure that it goes live for the poll, because we truly want to know if you guys want more content from Eric and I more than once a week live.
Yep.
We would love to do that. So just let us know.
And what did Andrea say? Another job is what?
And another job is to be a good son, a good friend, and a good brother. Well, that's very true.
Well, you are a good friend, Andreas. We love you, man. So
we all wear so many hats. There's so many hats that we wear as adults. Mm-hmm. Whether it's being a friend, a parent, a partner, son or daughter, father, mother, boss.
Yeah.
It's just so many hats that we wear.
And that's okay because it's fun to do it. And like you've said it best. I don't think we would want it any other way.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change it for nothing. I told my best friend Amy the other day, before I met you, and I'm just being very transparent. Last year was a hard year. Until I met you, that year was probably the toughest year for me. I had some hard lessons I had to learn. The biggest thing was learning how to be alone, how to make it on my own. It was a big lesson, big hard lesson. But I also realized that I worked all the time and I came home. I was not very social. And, if it wasn't at work, I was at church. And if I wasn't at either one of those two places, I was at home. And, it was just a lonely year. I tried to fill it with other things and, but just the happiness wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then you came into my life and you literally have turned my life upside down in the most wonderful way ever. And it's
did I energize it?
You did. You threw so many fun aspects into my life, and not just my lives, but my boys' lives, and I've gotten to know your girls, and you've got some really cool girls. Your girls are cool kids. And we just, it's been fun. It's been fun, dating you and now being engaged to you and planning our life for 2025. And it's been fun. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I really wouldn't.
Mr. Harrison. No, man, don't say that. Let her keep doing that, okay?
Well, but
he said, don't let my head get that big.
Right. Well, the truth is, I've added an aspects to your life too. We have. We've added to each other's.
I stayed 100% busy. And last year was tough for me. I lost my dad. September 30th of 2023, and 8 days later I was in Kentucky at Expo, and that was hard going by myself. Because Dad went with me, and but I saw Mr. Harrison there, so Mitchell Gordy, so I was there with my buddies and Lee Withers, and so everybody kind of helped me kind of get through that. But then, like you said, last Christmas was lonely. I had Mom and I had the girls and I had my brothers, but still, it's not like having that significant other.
Yeah.
And then I stayed home New Year's Eve. Like I stayed on the couch. I was in my, t-shirt and shorts and cuddled up on the blanket with the dogs, stayed home New Year's Eve and watched Hallmark Channel and was praying that, I was like, 24 is going to be the year that I meet the one that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And it happened.
And look at that. It did. It did. I had an inkling that things were going to change for me in 2024. And the inkling was I was praying about it. And I know, speaking from experience, God answers my prayers, and let me just say this. God always answers your prayers. And you're like, well, how do you get all your prayers answered? Well, the key is he does truly answer all of your prayers.
Just may not be what you were expecting.
He's either going to say yes, or he's going to say no, or he's going to say wait.
Yeah.
And
be patient.
You and I talked about this last night. We were put in a holding pattern. Because God was moving pieces to get us where we needed to be for us to meet, for our paths to cross. And when the time came, it was perfect timing for us. And, we had to go through all of the things that we've gone through in our adult lives. And, nobody likes to talk about divorce. Nobody likes to talk about the failures in relationships. And you and I have those. And
I am a failure model. I'm not the role model. I'm the failure model. And I'm not ashamed to say that at all. So
yeah, and I am too. For me, I think the biggest thing for me that I had to learn to accept is that my life did not turn out exactly the way I had it planned at 18 years old. But it's been a beautiful life, even with the ups and downs, because it's led me. It reminds me of that Rascal Flatts song. God bless the broken road. My road has been broken, but it's led me to you and yours to me. So, I have no regrets. I'm thankful for everything that's happened to me, the good and the bad and the ugly. So we're here and we're celebrating the Christmas season. So Scott says, I just want to be a ring bearer.
Well, Mott wants to be a groomsman.
There we go.
We're still debating what we're going to do for a wedding.
Well, we said we were going to have a meeting with our kids.
Yes.
Because we
Maybe we should have a meeting with our followers.
What do y'all think we should do? If we had sponsors to pay for our wedding, that would be great. But
well, and Boots on Ground Radio is growing. As you can see, we have sponsors there listed on the screen.
We do. Who are our sponsors?
So we got Cybor, and then we got Geo Ripper there. So thanks to those guys for helping us do what we do. And like I said, more sponsors are coming on board, and this thing is really, I think, going to take off. So.
That's the desire is for it to take off.
And, I think it's going to take off because we have fun doing it. Like, anytime you have fun doing what you do, it's never a job. Landscaping, being a landscape contractor is not a job. It is a passion, and I absolutely love it. And praise God for allowing me to be a part of the green industry and, secondary to, the construction industry and being around some magnificent people. Some awesome, like Mark right there, right? I can see. I'm looking at your phone, but I can see it here on the screen.
I know, because, we've been able to get everything set up just the way it was supposed to be. So Mark Davis says it's all in God's providential hand and his will. Love y'all. You're exactly right, Mark. Everything is in God's will, and we just have to trust that. My favorite verses is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not into thine own understanding. In all thy ways, not some of your ways, not the ways you want, not you don't get to pick and choose, but in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.
Yeah.
And I can sit here and say that I'm a true testament that God directed my path, and was it always easy to trust? No. Do I always trust? No, because I'm human. Yeah. And we're fallible human beings, and we don't always get it right, but God does. Yeah. And, he brought us together, and I'm thankful for that. So thank you, Mark. I agree with that.
Oh, Mark is a pastor. He owns New Testament Landscaping, there in the Lake Norman area. And I love Mark, forever. He's one of the greatest friends I know. So
it's good to have good friends. All friends are good to have, but it's even more special when you have friends who will pray for you and be there for you spiritually, because your spiritual aspect of your life is just as important as any other aspect.
Amen.
And I don't even like to say I'm religious. I'm not religious. I just believe in a higher power. I believe in God.
I would say, but I see you as very religious.
I am very religious. If you want to put a label on it, yes, I'm very religious. Not because I was raised that way, although I was. My dad was a preacher, still is a preacher. My dad pastored a church for a short period of time, but we were always in outreach ministries, and I've seen people on both sides of the fence. I've got to see lots of things that has really made me grateful for the life that God gave me. But that being said, my faith is not because my dad told me to believe it, nor is it because my mama wanted me to believe it. My faith is what it is because I truly believe it.
Yeah.
I had to go through some things, and as a Christian, sometimes we tend to lean on our own strength, and
we can't do that.
Our ways is not always going to make it work. Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things." Even when I feel like I can't, I'm reminded that I can. I can do all things.
Yeah.
But there's only one way we can do it. It's through Christ. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that, I was raised that way and was given a solid foundation. But at the end of the day, it's still my choice. Mm-hmm. It's my choice for what I believe, where I want to go to church, and how I raise my children. And I'm thankful that, my family gave me a solid foundation. Your family gave you a solid foundation. Yes. And I'm thankful for that. So there again, I said it last week and I'll say it again this week. I'm not afraid to proclaim my Christianity. No. Nor am I going to shadow away from that. I think we need more people to be proud about their faith. And really at the end of the day, that's what people want. They want to see your faith in action.
Well, and last night going to Friends Baptist Church, which thank you for bringing me there, and getting to know Pastor Osborne and Pastor Matt. I love those two guys, forever and a day. And the Christmas spectacular that they had last night, showed Christmas from a perspective of the Virgin Mary. Mm-hmm. And now I want to see Christmas from the perspective of Joseph. That's like got me involved, like, how those two people came together and how they, how they saw Christ and how they raised Jesus and seen everything.
And to your point, that play last night was truly from the perspective of Mary growing up as a child into her adulthood and her realizing and being told what was going to happen. It would be cool to see it from Joseph's perspective too. So if our pastor listens or pays any attention, or if anybody wants to put it in his ear, that might be an idea for next year, or maybe the next year. Not want it back up.
And then there was a song. Okay. But there's a song by Sawyer Brown. Trisha Yearwood also sings it. And there was somebody else, I looked it up, but my favorite version of this is by Sawyer Brown. It wasn't his child, which explains that from Joseph's perspective and how he watched Jesus grow up and become a man and do what he did for all of us. So that was right before I met you for lunch. I was playing that, and I figured you were going to say something. Eric, was your eyes so like watery and glassy? Because that song brings tears. Like it just does. So
it takes a very special person to love a child that's not their own. Mm-hmm. And you and I understand that from being, step parent roles. When it's not your child, it's not your biological child, it takes a different kind of love for that. And I'm thankful you love my boys, and I love your girls. And
they've all, like, I tell the boys I love them all the time. They tell me that they love me. You tell the girls you love them. And, when Sydney told you that night that she loved you, and that was just the most heartwarming.
It was. It meant a lot to me. And now your girls tell me that, and I really do appreciate that. But, Christmas is a special time of the year. We get to display our faith, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the country we live in, and we're able to do that, which, gives us this beautiful background back here because, I was thinking about this last night. Christmas time, if you notice, and you're in the light business in landscaping, you're installing Christmas lights. And, I had a client say to me the other day, we renovated our lighting in our office, which now is really bright in there. And she was talking about, but it's a good thing because light therapy is a real thing. And I got to thinking, why does light have such an effect on us? Because Christmas lights makes us happy, makes us joyous. Yes. And then you think about light therapy. But if you really want to get it down to the nitty gritty and you want to get real spiritual about it, Jesus is the light. Mm-hmm. He's the light of the world.
Yes.
And, where there's light, there's happiness, there's joy, and there's peace. And so you think about Christmas and you could tie all that together. So, that thought crossed my mind last night, the Christmas lights and what that does for us as humans. And there really is scientific evidence that light therapy works. It makes you a happier person. And
when I walked into your office, because I brought you lunch that day, I think, or something. And you're like, check out the new lights. And it was like super bright. And it was a white light, which is very good for work and reading and doing things of that nature. But as you can see here, I'm all about lamps. And, we got Christmas lights that we hang up in the room here all year round, the xenon, clear. But, I like that little bit of an orange glow to the incandescent traditional bulbs and lamps.
Sometimes you need the warmth, to just to kind of bring that stress level down a little bit and just to give it that warm, cozy feeling. So,
but Lamont, he keeps, saying landscape wedding, all of the people. On CTRs and tractors in the wedding.
I should ride in on a John Deere tractor. You know what? But growing up on a dairy farm, that would be right up my alley. So,
but as much as Kubota's done for us, we probably
should do orange. Bring in the Kubota.
We need Riddle tractor and Sink Farm equipment.
There we go. Yeah. Which, by the way, if anybody is from Riddle or Sink Farm, we need some hats.
Yeah. Well, they gave me a Walker hat. When I bought that trailer.
And we got James River equipment, and we got Jobber, but we need some more hats. We should have like a whole hat collection.
Actually, we need to broadcast. Like I need to reach out to James and the guys over at Riddle, and then down to Sink Farm. We need to actually broadcast live the radio station. And we can't do our Monday night show, but we could definitely do, an afternoon or something right before they close.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Tony Morgan, his comment was, we're born in the darkness, then we're brought to the light. And it's why the light makes us happy. And Jesus is that light, just like you said. Yes, sir. Yep. I agree 100%. 100%. And Christmas is all about light. It's all about, and that's where you have a source of income. Y'all install lights. And I have had so much fun watching Elite Landscape jump into that Christmas spirit and watch y'all decorate. I mean, let me tell you guys something.
They're sitting over there like, no.
These guys know how to decorate. I'm impressed that my soon-to-be husband is good at Christmas decorating, because you can ask my kids. My house looks like Christmas threw up in it when I decorate for Christmas. Although this year we've not had time to really decorate. But the outside's done. The outside's done. It's beautiful. Yeah. And I was the first house in my neighborhood to have Christmas lights. And
we were the very first house. You were the first house to decorate. You and Mom's, which I didn't finish Mom's that Saturday, but we got yours that Saturday morning, then went to Mom's Saturday afternoon. But got everything done, roof line, got some garland on the post, wreaths hung. Your house looks spectacular from the road. Like
it's beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful. And it's a white home, white vinyl siding with the black shutters and a porch. It's beautiful. And I'm so thankful for what God's given me. Yes. And of course he gave me you. But Christmas is a wonderful season. And we've got some Christmas trivia. Now I have one question that we're going to ask. We're not ready to ask it just yet, but I wanted to share some trivia with you, because some of these things was pretty cool to learn when I went through and got some Christmas trivia. One of the things that I thought was pretty cool was, according to the candy manufacturer Spangler, how many candy canes do they produce in a single day? Now,
wow.
Growing up, my mom did something special, and I have tried to continue that tradition. My mom would go buy candy canes and hang them on the Christmas tree. And I remember anytime we would leave to go to church or go out to dinner or whatever, I would go by the tree and grab a candy cane, because it was there for us to enjoy, and she would refill the tree with candy canes. So I love a tree full of candy canes for us to enjoy during the Christmas season. That's a fun thing to do. But the answer to that, how many candy canes do they produce in a single day? Are you ready for this?
Okay.
It's a lot.
Wow. One day?
In one day. One single day. Now, this is not the trivia question, guys. We're just going over some of these because I thought it was interesting facts. 2.7 million candy canes are produced in one day. One day during the Christmas season.
Wow.
2.7 million. That's a lot.
Now, is that... But that's not every single day. That's just during the hot market.
I guess it's during the holidays. Yeah. It didn't really say when. It just says, according to the candy manufacturer Spangler, candy canes that they produce in a single day by that manufacturer is 2.7 million in a single day.
Yeah.
Which I believe it. I mean, the shelves are stocked. In every store you go in, there's candy canes everywhere in this season. I
like that next one. Like,
which one?
How long is the average growing time for a Christmas tree? Now, we're in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. We're like Christmas tree central. And, we use the Fraser fir. A lot of people use Norway spruce. I remember Dad, we'd go out a time or two. We'd go down and cut eastern red cedar down in the pasture. I always grew up on the fence line. Several of those trees. But how many? What's the average years?
So the average year for one Christmas tree, and you think about it.
And nurseries, like if you started a nursery, you're going to probably about the same time before you could sell those.
Yeah. I mean, it takes that long to get those plants to grow to sellable size. And so you got to stagger it so that you're always producing Christmas trees every season. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it. But the number is a perfect number. It's God's perfect number.
That's right.
7 years to grow a Christmas tree.
Yep.
7 years. That's amazing.
Now, I know what we could do for the question for the gift card.
What's that?
Like, we're here in North Carolina, Fraser firs and spruce trees and stuff like that, Norway spruce. Although, I'm saying they might be able to Google that. I don't know if they will know this.
So, I like stumping people, but they got to call in and answer the question.
Yeah.
The thing is how many people's actually going to
know.
So
should we do that one, or should I do mine?
I think that you can ask yours, and we'll give them idea. We're totally just jumping from the hip. Ask your question. If they answer it correctly, we'll give them Boots on Ground merchandise.
Okay. And then we'll do the gift card for yours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, state of North Carolina, Fraser Fur's big thing up in the mountains. We go see my daughters in Boone at Appalachian State University. You can always see it on the side of the mountains where they've cut and, planted more and stuff. But south of here, in the hotter climates, and I remember Tony Bass, good friend of mine, Bass Custom Landscape, Super Lawn Trucks, told me that in the state of Georgia and even further south, what tree do they use or grow to have inside as a live Christmas tree? If you know that, give us a call here at 336-414-9719. Again, 336-414-9719. Tell me what tree. Now, this tree grows super fast. A lot of people don't like it. It gets bagworms, stuff like that. But it is a tree that was extensively overused here in North Carolina. Home landscaping, residential landscaping, even commercial landscaping for screening. But it is a good tree because it grows really, really fast.
So I put the number in the chat. Now, keep in mind, guys, this question about what Eric just asked is for Boots on Ground merchandise. We have a Christmas trivia question where you can win the $50 gift card to Tractor Supply. That will also be a call into the radio station as well. So we'll have two people to call in. The first one will get Boots on Ground merchandise. The second one, the Christmas trivia question, will be the $50 gift card to Tractor Supply. So ask that question one more time so that our listeners can know.
So south of North Carolina, like getting into lower South Carolina, into Georgia, even down into Florida, the most southern states in the U.S., what tree is grown by nurserymen and nursery women that is grown particularly for Christmas trees? They have a Christmas tree farm. They're growing this tree. It grows a lot faster. It can withstand the heat down there. Of course, Fraser Firs, you get into, the southern climates, it's not going to not grow as good, and they just can't. So North Carolina, we're mainly Fraser Firs. And even some spruce, spruce trees. That was on one of my plant quizzes today. Was the Ohlendorf spruce was a sample. If you saw my video on Facebook, but Tony, you're close. You're close. It's not actually a cedar, but people may see it and think that is a cedar. But the botanical name starts with an X, just the letter X. So.
I love it. I love the fact that you know the scientific name to plants. To me, that is so smart.
Sweetie, I can speak Latin now.
I know you can. You're so smart when it comes to stuff like. But
you are too.
Well, I'm smart in my own realm.
Well, like you said, even the quiz, like the plant quiz that I put up, you're like, I know every single one of those plants. It's just it's
knowing the names. Yeah.
And those were some difficult ones. So, out of the 10, 2 of them were boxwoods, and it's not your traditional looking boxwood. One of them was the waterfall boxwoods, and the other one was the green tower boxwood, which grows really tall, which could actually be perfect, I think, for a Christmas tree as well.
Yeah. Well, so here's what we should do. We should go ahead and have our callers call in to answer for Boots on Ground merchandise. She'd look amazing riding on an orange tractor. Thanks, Lamont. I appreciate it.
We'll have to put you in the Kubota skid steer.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. It sounds like, babe, we may end up having to have a wedding before it's all said and done.
Is your dad going to walk you down the tractor road?
We could ride tractors together.
Yeah, we could ride off into the sunset on tractors.
Oh my goodness, that would be hilarious.
But
but it would be like 10 miles an hour. Everybody like, how long is it going to take them to get where they're going? We're just like this. Wouldn't be no hurry.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, so call in right now for Boots on Ground merchandise. If you know the type of tree that they use for a Christmas tree further south. If you know the name of the tree, call in to 336-414-9719. If you know that, call in. Towards the end of the show, here in just a few minutes, we'll ask the Christmas trivia question for you to win a chance for the $50 gift card to Tractor Supply.
Yep.
So we've got 2 questions, 2 opportunities to win merchandise. The first one is, which tree do they use for a Christmas tree further south? That's for Boots on Ground merch. And then we're going to ask the trivia question here shortly and then have you guys call in for a chance to win that gift card. So if you know what that tree is, give us a call at 336-414-9719 and you will be on the radio. So make sure that you have your answer correct. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. But in the meantime, I thought this was an interesting trivia question that I saw, and this is not the one we're going to ask for the gift card, but I saw some of these and I was like, wow, this is very interesting. So what the most favorite winter beverage in America? There's two.
Where's that at?
Right here. There's two winter beverages. That's America's top two beverages for this time of the year. There's two of them. The first one is hot chocolate. It is the number one selling beverage for the holiday season. Yes, in America. The second favorite one, which I wasn't surprised, but it was interesting to know that was it. The second most favorite beverage in the United States during this season, Christmas season, is eggnog.
Yeah.
So you've got hot chocolate and then you've got eggnog.
I love eggnog.
I do too. I love eggnog. We talked about using eggnog tonight on the show and we were like, no, we're not going to do that. But if you know the answer to the trivia question for Boots on Ground merchandise, call into 336-414-9719. You'll get Boots on Ground merch. If you know the type of tree that they use further south for Christmas trees, Eric is, with him being in horticulture and knowing his plants, he wants to test your knowledge. So
I'm lucky enough that I get to teach Plant Materials 1, Plant Materials 2, and Advanced Plant Materials at the college. So,
and I've considered taking some of your classes just so that I can learn from myself.
You just want to watch my YouTube videos.
I do. Here's another one. It was thought to be the first observation for December the 25th as the holidays, Christmas season. The first observation of that worldwide was a Christian church in Rome, and it commemorated the Feast of the Nativity in the year of 336.
Wow.
That was after Christ, 336.
Yep.
So that's amazing to think that Christmas was celebrated that long ago. But on June 24th of 1870, President Ulysses S. Grant signed a proclamation declaring December 25th as the Christmas holiday in the United States.
What year?
In 1870.
1870.
June 24th of 1870.
President Grant. Okay.
President Grant. And through some genealogy studies that my family has done, my great-grandmother is a Grant, and we found out that we are down the line connected to Ulysses S. Grant. I don't know whether to be proud of that or whether to be ashamed of that, because I've heard some things one way or the other, but he is in my family tree. I mean, that's crazy to think. And then there's another beverage.
I like that yellow one.
I do too. And that's going to be our trivia question.
Is that the trivia question?
That's the trivia question to win the $50 gift card.
Well, you got 10 minutes.
Well, nobody's calling in about the Christmas tree, babe.
Tony, not the white pine. It's not the white pine. But probably used extensively as the white pine. I would say in the 80s, late 70s, a ton of Pinus strobus white pines were planted. For screening and stuff. And then you started seeing more of this plant being replaced late 80s, early 90s. And it got to be the point that here in North Carolina, because we still used to get snow, and they're calling for snow like the week of Christmas. But a lot of snow and ice damage. Bagworms is a major problem for this tree as well. But further south, it's still used as a Christmas tree, and it grows really, really fast. So, nurserymen, within 2 years, they can have a product that they could sell as a Christmas tree. So instead of 7 years, you think about that. If you, like a lot of my horticulture students, they want to be nurserymen or nursery women. You graduate, you do all of this work, and if you can't sell a plant until 7 years later, where's your income coming from?
Yeah, you've got to have another source of income.
Yes.
I mean, being an entrepreneur is hard.
Yes.
It's extremely difficult. Some people have been successful. Some people are still trying to be successful, and it's constant. It's a constant work in progress being an entrepreneur. And my hat's off. I mean, you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you own your own businesses, and you're out there making it happen.
There's weeks that you're like, wait up for a check to go in,
Mm-hmm.
So you can make payroll. Because that's number one priority every single week is to make payroll. Bills come around once a month. And so But payroll comes around once a week.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the tough part. And those of you that are listening that own your own businesses, you know exactly what Eric is talking about. You know, worrying from week to week if you've got enough jobs to just to cover payroll. And if you don't, where's the money coming from? Do you have another source of income to help back up or pour into that business? And, you know, and these are real problems that people that own their own companies that are self-employed have. It is important to have another source of income. So here's what we're going to do. If you know the tree that they use further south for the Christmas tree, just type it into the chat. Whoever gets it correct, we will send you Boots on Ground merchandise. We'll mail it out to you. We'll give you one of the Boots on Ground hats and one of the vinyl stickers. We'll send that to you. So just type it into the chat because we're just going to save the phone line for you guys to call in for the Christmas trivia question, which, you know, I would love to have y'all to jump in and win $50 to Tractor Supply. I mean, who doesn't like Tractor Supply?
Yeah, I go up there and Tractor Supply is like a Target trip. Like you're going to spend $300. Like it's like, yeah, because I got to buy dog food and I used to buy 2 bags, the big bags, fill up that trash can so that they're always got stuff. And then you got to get chicken feed. Mark, close. Unless you're saying Murray, meaning Mary, but very, very close. Mark, we don't plant those around here anymore. A lot of the municipalities have even banned them from doing that. But
why is that?
For, again, ice damage, bagworms. Bagworms just destroy it. They'll clean it. And they just break off at the top. They grow so fast. It's like one of the screening trees that grows so fast that it just becomes a problem. He's typing again.
Well, I have another one for you. We was talking about beverages earlier. The soda manufacturers, because we were talking about sodas. The soda manufacturer who had thought to have submitted, our background just went off. Our technical director back here in the back just let us know.
Where's that remote? It's right there. You just got to hit it again.
Our fireplace went off.
I know.
It's going away. There it is. Okay.
Did it come back? Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to veer off from telling you this soda manufacturer thing in just a second.
Mark got it right.
What did he say?
The Leland Cypress.
Well, look at that. Well, Mark, we're going to be sending you the Boots on Ground Richardson hat, and we'll send you a vinyl sticker. You can put it on the back of your tablet, laptop, on the back of your vehicle, wherever you want to put it.
And see, Mark sends me Bible quotes every single morning.
Yeah. So, and trust me, Eric appreciates that. He mentions it all the time. But I will say, running a podcast, people think it's just setting up a camera and sitting and talking. I'm gonna be honest. I was of that mindset too. That,
until you did it.
Until I done it, and I was like, wow. You really have to be prepared for these. You've got to come up with content. You've got to talk about what the segments are going to be. Sometimes you can wing it, jump from the hip is fine, but there's a lot of prep that goes into this, especially when it's technical, because, we've got new camera equipment. We've got software that we've had to install on the laptops and make sure, you're running the broadcaster for the radio side and we're running Facebook. So we've got 2 different laptops, which is nice. We got everything set up appropriately this week because last week we had so many tech issues from installing all the new equipment and, setting up backdrops. There's just a lot that goes into. So if you are a podcaster, and there's a lot of you out there, podcasting has become a very popular source of streaming for people to listen to. And it's a great way of getting information and material out there that you want to share. And you've got several people that you watch and listen to. And I do too. I have several that I listen to. And I enjoy podcasting. I never thought I'd be a podcaster, but I've really enjoyed being a part of this. It is fun. And we are bringing people into our lives, and we're becoming a part of theirs. And so it's been fun. But man, I did not really know the undertaking that it is to run a show. And we're not syndicated. Maybe one day we will be. That would be a cool thing to be syndicated. We're not live on TV. And, I watch shows. Since we started podcasting, I've really become more aware and paid more attention to TV shows and how they're setting up their talk shows. And there's a lot of people that you have to have behind the scene, and I've got my oldest son who is a student for audio video technology, and so he's been a great source of help to us, but being a little bit of our technical director behind the scenes. So it's been great between you and Jared, and knowing everything you know about technology. Y'all have been able to pull this together.
I do want him to be more involved on the landscape side of actually filming and taking pictures and doing that, because organic content is where it's at. And I know I listen, if y'all hear me talk on, Turf Teacher and stuff, I listen to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk with VaynerMedia. Organic content is where it's at. And then, the paid Facebook, the paid TikToks and stuff like that is where, you're going to get your customer base. And we've got to do that, especially with the number of employees that we keep growing. You got to keep that work coming. And the sad thing is it removes me from the field, which is, it's kind of sad, it's sad. I'm not a big fan of paperwork, but it
has to be done.
Somebody has
to do it. Yeah.
It has to be done.
Well, so back to the soda manufacturer, and then we're gonna jump to our trivia question here in just a second. The soda manufacturer that is thought to have cemented the rosy-cheeked, bearded Santa Claus that's associated with our Christmas today. It's the look, it's the image that we see for Christmas. In 1931, Coca-Cola commissioned illustrator Haddon Sundblom to paint an image of Santa for their ads, and it's been the basis for Santa Claus ever since.
Wow. So Coca-Cola really developed that red suit and white beard and everything like that.
And now it's become the phenomenon of who Santa Claus is for us here in the United States.
True. And I remember seeing like some older pictures of like what Santa Claus like looked in like Europe and stuff like that. And it was still had the white beard, but had like the overalls with the suspenders, and so.
Yeah,
it's Coke, which is my second favorite.
I know, I love Coke. I much prefer Coke over Diet Coke any day. I don't like diet drinks. If I'm just going to drink it, just give me the
sugar.
real thing. You might as well. I mean, I hear that these diet drinks aren't good for you anyway. So if you're going to drink them, you might as well go full force. But I love a good soda now that you've got me hooked on Pibb Extra, but I still don't drink them every day. It's just not something that I could drink every day. But it's amazing to me. One decision. All it took was a marketing professional in Coca-Cola to commission this illustrator, and now look what it's done for the United States as far as the image of who Santa Claus is. One decision.
Yeah.
Imagine how important our decisions are. All it takes is one decision to either ruin you or break you. One decision in business, It's amazing. One decision, one thing, one development, one, whatever could change the whole landscape of something. That's crazy. Well, guys, it is time. If you are watching and you want to win a $50 gift card to Tractor Supply, when we ask the question, okay, you have got to call Eric's phone number at 336-414-9719. I typed it into the chat, so if the chat has moved on past the number, just scroll up through the chat. It's in the chat. It's 336-414-9719. So if you are listening live to the radio station at bootsongroundradio.com, or if you're watching us live on Facebook from Eric's page, which I also shared to my page, call in when I ask the question. So the trivia question is very fitting for Eric and I because we are big Hallmark Channel people. We love Hallmark Channel. So this is very fitting. So as soon as I saw the question, I was like, that's it. That's the one we're going to ask. So according to Hallmark, now keep in mind, guys, you can Google this if you have to, because I don't know how many are actually going to know the answer to this, okay? But according to Hallmark, approximately how many Christmas cards are sent annually? How many Christmas cards are sent annually according to Hallmark?
That's crazy.
If you know the answer or Google it and think you have the answer, I have the answer here according to...
I wonder if that's traditional like paper cards where people actually put a stamp.
Well, it doesn't say how they're sent. It says approximately how many Christmas cards are sent. I'm going to safely assume it's printed cards from Hallmark.
Which I bought ours, and we haven't even filled them out.
I know. We haven't even done it. No. Oh, my goodness. I know. They're sitting there, and
I bought them at the beach.
Oh, my gosh. That was Christmas back store. In August.
Yeah.
It was in August. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. According to Hallmark, approximately how many Christmas cards are sent annually? If you find the answer, I want you to call into the station at 336-414-9719. The phone line is open. We're sitting and waiting on you to get us the answer. So call in 336-414-9719. According to Hallmark, approximately how many Christmas cards are sent annually?
Yeah.
Which means we need to get our Christmas cards sent.
Yes.
Send them out.
Yeah.
I became a big fan of picture cards, but we haven't had time to
go to picture.
We're just going to wait next year when we're all officially Joneses. Oh, who is the call coming in? Who is it?
Mark Davis. What's up, buddy? All right, I got to get you on the Bluetooth went disconnected.
Hang on, Mark. He's going to get you hooked up. You've got disconnected. The joys of technology.
All right, can you hear me now, Mark?
All right, Mark, I think we got you. We hear cops playing in the background.
It is. I can cut the TV down. Yeah. Watching these guys get beat up.
That is some entertainment you just can't quit watching. I grew up watching cops in my house.
Absolutely.
Mr. Davis, how are you, sir, man? It's good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. Getting closer to retirement, brother.
I know, man. Seeing you guys like that retire though, that's sad, man. You guys are the staple of the business. But you got your son taking over, right?
Well, we actually started a pool company.
Yes.
And it's actually flourishing very well. So
yeah.
We're not sure which direction we're going yet. Making some decisions here in the next few weeks. I'll definitely keep you up to date.
Well, good deal.
And,
good deal.
See what's going on, because like I said, I'm 58 years old and
still young. Trying to 58 years young.
But trying to slow down a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
I love to work. I love our industry, but at the end of the day, it's trying on the body sometimes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, do you know how many Christmas cards are mailed out annually?
1.3 billion.
All right.
Ding, ding, ding. He got it.
Yes, sir.
Look at that, Mark. Well, congratulations, Mark, for calling in. Lamont, I did see that you commented and said it went to voicemail because we'd already answered Mark's call, so I apologize for that. But thank you for calling in. But, Mark, you did get it right. It is 1.3 billion cards that are sent annually from Hallmark.
Yeah.
That is insane number.
Yes, it is.
Crazy.
Yes. The U.S. Postal Service loves that.
I know. And all the stamps. Yeah. That's crazy. But there again, that's another source of income for Hallmark.
Yeah.
The Christmas cards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what keeps the movies going.
That's true.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to pay those actors, right?
You got that right.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Well, man, good from you. Have you talked to Billy, man? Have you heard from him lately?
I've texted him every day. I mean, we're texting back and forth. He's doing really well.
Good deal.
He's really doing good. I'm super proud of him.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Absolutely. He gets prayed for every day, just like y'all. I mean, it's every day that you two are in my prayers. It's not like it's overlooked or missed. And God knows and hears and understands our prayers. It's not that we have to repeat it because He heard it the first time.
Yeah.
But boy, it sure does show our faithfulness to Him when we keep praying for each other and our families and everything that's going on in the world today. It's what it takes.
It does. Yes, sir.
It absolutely is. It's pretty cool stuff, and the way that works, it doesn't. Our faithfulness to God is just through prayer is how we do it every day. It's totally 100% His will.
Yeah.
So if we can line our prayers up with his will, then we're right in the will of God at that point. If not, we're praying against his will.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I love it, man. I love it.
Just like I love you, brother.
Yes, sir. I love you, man. You and you don't know what a big inspiration that you've been in my life.
Yeah.
I remember that day we stayed after class. It was in Asheville.
Yep.
When we did the class there, and you were talking about the church, and that's when I asked you to receive those text messages that you haven't missed one, man, and that's been, well over a year, almost 2 years.
Oh yeah, 2 years, probably close to 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 365 text messages a year, buddy. You get them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he sure does too. And when we first started dating, he told me about you and how much he appreciates the text messages. So coming from me, I appreciate that, knowing that it meant that much to him. And it's ironic how a simple action, I mean, just something as simple as sending one text message could really mean something to somebody. Yeah. And it's not even just the one text message; it is the consistency behind it that matters. And
exactly.
We get so busy. We do. We get so busy and we overlook things and. So the dedication to being committed to doing that for Eric means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to him. So I'm going to say thank you from me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're very welcome. And you know what it does for me is it's the persistency of knowing that in the busyness as being business owners, owning multiple businesses and as we do, I look at as if that's the only Bible verse that we get to read that day.
Yeah.
Then we're going to thank God for it, because we do get busy and we do it's so easy to set the Bible aside and not read and study it on a day basis and sending out those text messages every day to you. I know for a fact you're at least getting one Bible verse a day, and that's, to me, that's my job. That's what I do.
Yeah. And I appreciate it and love you for it, man.
Yes, sir. We love you too, buddy. I want that invitation to that wedding too. I'm making that trip.
Well, so it's funny. It's funny, Mark, because when we got engaged, we were like, okay, do we want to have a wedding? If we have a wedding, are we going to open it up to friends and family? If we do, it's going to be a lot of people. Or do we just keep it private? So it's so Eric and I are still on the fence. We don't really know what we're going to do just yet. So
I think we're being coached or pushed one way,
directed one way.
Well, so see, I got a card in both sides of that thing, because we're friends through the landscape industry, which I thank God for, and we're brothers through Christ. So,
amen.
I'm friends and family, so there's no way I can miss.
You can't. You'd be there. Oh my goodness.
Well, we appreciate you calling in, Mark. You won the $50 gift card to Tractor Supply. So my question to you is, what are you going to buy?
I have no idea. I would be honest with you. I would rather shop Tractor Supply than I would anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you it's going to be something that I can work with one way or the other, because that's just what I do.
Yeah.
I was going to say, at least buy something you wouldn't normally buy for work, something that,
for you, Mark.
Buy something for you. Maybe a pair of overalls or a nice
Carhartts.
Good insulated socks.
I would end up working in them anyway.
Exactly. Why not?
So it's still work.
Yeah.
Sure. It still work.
It all spins the same, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, now it does keep me warm while I'm fishing, so maybe that is.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe it's something I can wear on the boat when I'm out enjoying myself.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Buy something for your hobby. That'd probably be a little bit more appropriate. That'd be a gift from Eric and I and Boots on Ground Radio to you. So spend it and have fun with it for sure. Yeah. So Mark, you'll have to text your address, your mailing address where you want it sent to Eric, and I'll make sure it gets sent out.
Yeah, he gets the hat.
That'll be fun.
Cool deal.
Yeah, well, yeah, you won both tonight. My goodness.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get double trouble here from us. We'll just sit it all at one time. So, listen,
that'll be
guys,
fun.
and just keep in mind, people that are watching and listening, if Mark can win both times, there's no reason why anybody else can't either. So, y'all got to stay tuned.
Oh, wait.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, Mark, I appreciate it, buddy, man. Looking forward to seeing you pretty soon, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
Me too.
Take care, man. Merry Christmas. Love you.
Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
sir. Merry Christmas. Love y'all too.
See you, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Bye-bye. Awesome.
Well, that was fun. That was fun. I love when we get to interact with our listeners. Yeah. And
you'll meet him. He comes to the Concord class or the Mooresville class. Okay. So yeah,
well, good.
He's
deal.
right there in that area.
Well, good deal. Well, now we know that you have more than one opportunity to win Boots on Ground merchandise.
Yeah.
Or whatever the gift is next week. And this may be something that we'll just continue, throughout the year in 2025. We want to give back. It's important to give back. We want people to interact and be involved. And so listen to us on every Monday night at 7 p.m. We try to do the podcast within the hour. Sometimes we're over, like tonight, we're over just a few minutes. But listen to us at 7 p.m. live through your internet browser at www.bootsongroundradio.com, as well as watch us live on Facebook every Monday night at 7 o'clock. You have several ways to interact with us. Write Eric's number down. Save his contact in your phone. His number is 336-414-9719. That would be the number that you want to save to use so that you can call in to answer the trivia questions to win the gifts that will be given away. So Christmas is coming. How many days do we have left for Christmas, babe?
9 days. Today's the 16th. So, yeah.
And I don't have any Christmas presents yet.
Yeah, we got to do that tonight. We got to get to Mai Tai.
I know. Mai Tai. By the way, Chang Mai Tai restaurant in Pofftown is Eric's favorite restaurant. I have fallen in love with it, and we tagged them the other night. So if you guys are listening, we're heading up there here in just a few minutes. So we'll see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off and head out.
That's right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Boots on the Ground at Radio. Be a boss, date a boss. I love you, Turfette.
I love you, Papa Turf.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Monday night. That'll be the Monday before Christmas.
That's crazy.
See you guys.